Alright, hey guys, this is in fact Blood Cooker, bringing you my commentary of this ZvP. I will be showing you my perspective most of the time. I am spawning as Zerg in the top right corner, and my opponent will be Urblue, in which case I am. Spawning as Protoss in the bottom left corner. Now this is a two-player map. I have no clue what it's called, but so I already knew where he spawned. Now I'm gonna show you guys my perspective of this game, just to I don't know, up the ante. I don't know. Now I know what you guys are probably thinking. It's like, what? You're playing Zerg? Yes, Zerg is actually my main race. I love their play style. I love their strategy. You know, they're the aggressive race. I love the Terran too. The only problem I have with them is that you sit in your base the entire time and you don't do anything. I find that to be quite boring. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a overpool. This has got to be my favorite build because you get those early Zerglings out, and you can keep producing drones and get your economy running too. So at this point, I'm not going to be actually scouting him for a while. I know he is right there, and most Protoss will probably wall off right here. So I'm guessing he's going to be going for one of those builds. And I would like to say, Jamal and Elusive Shark, you guys are awesome. You guys are getting a lot better on your commentaries. I can't wait to see more. They're really enjoyable. And yeah, so apparently we have some people, machinima directors or something like that, really cool guys that are going to help us get some subscribers or something like that. I don't know the full details, but I'm looking forward to it. I just love casting these games. So now this was kind of interesting on my part. Actually, never mind. I am producing 6 Zerglings right away. Oh, and I would like to also point something out. I have upped the graphics to medium. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my graphics are now at medium settings. I don't think I actually play with these graphics because it makes my computer like just a touch. But I'm definitely going to start commentating with these graphics. So I'm going to go ahead and move these Zerglings out across the map. And my queen is just finishing. I'm going to go ahead and get this gas so I can get Zergling speed or lair, depending on what he's doing. So I have no clue what he's doing. I'm going to go ahead and move these Zerglings in here. And I see he has 1 zealot. Urblue has 1 zealot, and I am blue. So I'm going to go ahead and kill off this zealot. Do some little micro. Now, at this point, I see he's got a wall in, and I want to take advantage of the fact he's not got that second zealot. So I'm going to go ahead and start pounding away at these, at least one of the pylons. Now, I thought this was a zealot, so I thought it'd be coming out sooner, but it was actually a stalker. So I kill the pylon, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in his base, woohoo! And then I see the stalker, and I'm like, hey, he's going tech, this should be fun. Now, as a Zerg player, you have to keep the pressure on, okay? You don't have to worry about losing your units. Your units are expendable. Now, I've just unpowered both his cybernetics core and his gateway. I have done so much damage with these 6 Zerglings, and I still get 1 left. Look, he's a predator. He's got 1 kill. He is awesome like that. So while he sits at the watchtower, I'm going to go ahead and expand. I actually threw it on this expansion right as I killed that first pylon. Now I'm also going to get my lair and Zergling speed because I realized I might as well go for tech while I've hurt him so much. Now my first guess is that he's rebuilt those pylons in close to the exact same spot. Now I do have watch on his base, sort of, with these what the heck is that? What is that? Are those like little tentacles coming out of the ground to like eat a Zergling or something? I don't know. I never saw those until I turned up the graphics. So, as a Zerg player, you always want to know what your opponent's doing. So I'm going to go ahead and move these Zerglings down to his base. I cannot remember if I actually go in or not, but I'm going to go ahead and do that while I get my expansion up and running. Now, I do throw down a Roach Warren. Roaches are always a good idea to go against Protoss. You don't want to mass them typically because mass roaches against Protoss isn't as good as it could be. So I'm going to go ahead and see he has rebuilt those, forming a nice little area there. and he has two stalkers. So at this point, I think he's running out to attack. So I believe. Well, that's a lot of yeah. Oh yeah, I'm getting this expansion up and running, but I believe I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, start building some more roaches and zerglings and stuff. Oh yeah, I was waiting for the roach one. That's what it was. But he's not actually pushing out. As you can see, he's still in his base up here. Now, here's another thing you can do as Zerg. I only do this as Zerg because you get a bunch of expendable units. You set your guys on patrol outside his base. Not only are the Zerglings, let's just say they're standing right here, okay? You only can see this much area. Now, when they're on patrol, you not only see that, but you see down here all the way up to right about here. And that's the line where the watchtower kicks in. So, you know, patrol is definitely not a bad idea. I think I underuse it. So, I guess it's something to be thinking about. Keeping up on my injections, but not on my supply. I'm at 44 out of 44. That's not really a good thing to be at. I'm going to throw down an extra extractor, and I'm going to put down my spire, because at this point, most Protoss who lock themselves in their base are going to be going for either air or Colossi. And in either case, you want to put down that spire to get out Corruptors and Mutalisks. If you have Corruptors and Mutalisks, you will be safe from any sort of attack they will try and throw at you. Now, I am kind of paranoid about this air, so I'm going to set this Zergling right here to spot to see if you can see my mouse, if he moves up across here, he's going to see my Zergling, and I'm going to be able to see him. Now, I don't know what he's doing, so I'm going to go ahead and throw down another expansion, because he's not moving out. While I'm getting these, Zerglings and Mutas. Key thing as Zerg is to keep up on the injections, maintain map control. You want to always have control of all the watchtowers. And I go ahead and run a Zergling up there, and I see the dual Stargate. Now at this point I'm realizing, hey, this spire was an excellent idea. And then I see this robotics facility, and I'm not too worried about that. I bet he's just going for observers there. So I'm going to go ahead and keep getting out these Zerglings, and now I'm going to go ahead and go for Mutas. Keeping up on injections, taking map control, that is what the Zerg do. Too many people, I see this way too often. I think that too many people try and mass up, sit in their base, you know, mass up roaches and hydralisks. I think that is such a worthless idea. Now, I heard the Queen attack the observer because my overseer saw it, but I didn't know where it went, and I was like, wow, I think it was just a, I don't know, random move. So I just kind of gave up on it when it's really right here in my mineral line, seeing everything I'm doing at this expansion. But you know, you can only do so much. There's the blur. So I'm going to station these units just kind of randomly around the map and see what harassment I can do with these mutas. Now I did see the dual Stargate, so I know he's going air. If you see your opponent dual Stargate and you don't have anti-air, you need to start like crying, because you're dead if you don't get some anti-air. Now this is a very, very nice strategy I like to do. Is go Zerglings and Mutas. That's a very, very effective strategy. Now I go ahead and see he does have a lot of these units, so I'm gonna fall back here, and he's not ballsy enough to. Okay, I guess he is. No, he's not. Now I am really low on gas, and I need to build more overlords. I do have all three of my hatcheries hotkeyed to 5. My air army is hotkeyed to 2, and my ground army is hotkeyed to 1. The ground army consisting mainly of roaches and Zerglings. So I see he's pushing out, so I'm going to get my units across the map ready to converge on his forces. So I'm going to let him take as much time as he wants to get across the map, sending a few units in at a time while I get these extra guys out. So right here, I'm lining up because I want to stop this army. So I'm going to go ahead and move all my units in. Well, I thought it was all my units. And these Void Rays are not going to do much against my Zerglings. My Zerglings are taking out his Stalkers. And here come my air army to take out his Phoenixes and his Void Rays. Now the key thing here is Corruptors are not that good against Void Rays. Mutas are much better because of their Warp Blade splash damage. Now I have to focus fire these down, and I'm doing a pretty good job of that. But these Void Rays are fully charged, and they take out my entire Corruptor army. At the same time, though, I have these Zerglings, so I'm going to go ahead and push into his base, see what damage I can do. I do take out the poop out some Changelings, and I'm trying to kill these Zealots. I have to kill these Zealots to get into his base to get control of his base. Now I'm in his base rampaging. First thing I do is go straight for his Nexus. He warps in more units. Stalkers, a very bad idea against Zerglings. Now I believe I'm trying to like move these guys around, get as much scouting as I can. He does have these cannons in the back of his base, so that's preventing me from getting his workers. Now that Void Ray did come up here and try and attack my hatchery, but it didn't work. Now he thinks these are his Zealots because at his view, he's like, oh man, those are my Zealots, and he's trying to select them, but he can't. So I'm going to go ahead and do as much damage as I can. Here come more Stalkers. I have to take out what I can with these Zerglings remaining while I'm still macroing in my base. Now, I have built up an air army at this point, and he has a lot of Stalkers. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do, after I poop out a ton of creep tumors, is start building a lot of Zerglings and Mutas. I do go back to Roaches at the same time as well. I did get one attack upgrade for my air because I did see those Void Rays. Now at this point, I'm trying to, I see he's moving out. So I'm going to take whatever army I have and whatever army I'm macroing up. Now Zerg is all about macro, so you have to macro as much as possible here. I didn't even notice I was there. So I see these here and I'm like, oh, my Corruptor died. Woohoo, that's too bad. He has like no units. So I decide to completely just sandwich him, come from the bottom, come from the top. This is what the Zerg needs to do. His Stalkers are trapped. They cannot do anything. My army just annihilated him. So what I'm going to do now, march straight into his base. I don't care what he has. I know that I have the macro to replace my units if they all die. Now, this is really scary. A line of blue moving across the map. And, of course, he does not have very much here. He stopped producing from these Stargates because that wasn't working for him. And he goes ahead and GG's. That was a good game. That is how Zerg should be played. That was a well-placed game because his main problem was he did not dedicate to a strategy. He was trying to counter both my strategies I was going for. He saw my Spire. I'm gonna go ahead and go to his view here. Well, he quit, but he did see my Spire, and he did see my third base. So he was gonna go for some air. That was a good idea, except he did not build enough Zealots and Stalkers on the ground to take out my Zerglings that I would have macroing up. And as soon as he saw I had a bunch of Zerglings, he didn't know what to do, so he built Stalkers. What he could have done in that situation is go mass Stalker and Zealot, but because of these two Stargates, he limited his macro to 4 gateways, and that's not something you want to do. So guys, good game, GG, GLHF, and you guys have a nice time playing StarCraft as Zerg. Thank you.